friends, unfortunately we've been back from our trip for just about 24 hours now. Actually not even, like 18 hours. And I miss it so much, but we had a wonderful reunion with the kids yesterday, and we're very glad we made it back in time for Amelia's birthday, which is just in a couple of days. As I was about to start unpacking and attacking laundry, I thought I would show exactly how I pack a carry-on for kind of an involved trip like this. Like, I know a lot of people do videos on how to pack a carry-on bag for 3 weeks, but when they do it, they're like backpacking style, wearing different shorts and shirts that are all solid to coordinate. And we were going to kind of fancy restaurants, and we wanted to be able to dress the part and wear flowy dresses and things with prints. So I thought I'd show how I managed to do that and travel fairly light. It worked very well for us. Our bag did not get eaten by the mess that was Amsterdam Schiphol Airport, and we were able to keep our carry-ons with us at all times through every flight and train that we took, which was wonderful. You'll see that a lot of times when we travel, we do carry 25-inch or 29-inch bags because we love doing 1 or 2 check bags for all 4 of us. But when it's just the 2 of us, there's no reason to travel so heavy. So the first thing I do when traveling with carry-ons is I make sure that I wear one of the pairs of shoes that I'm going to bring. If you can keep it to 2 to 3 pairs of shoes, it makes a big difference because shoes eat up the most room possible. Then I make sure I always wear onto the plane a jacket that has a lot of pockets. So like this jacket has this pocket right here where I can keep my phone, and as I'm going through the airport I can also keep my passport, which is very helpful because you never know when they're going to check it. And I like to wear on a purse. So this is the one that I wore the majority of this trip. It's just easy to have like my keys and, I don't know, sunglasses, wallet, etc. right next to me rather than digging through my backpack. And they don't tend to count it as one of your items, even though I think it's technically supposed to be a personal. So it's an extra free item. And in here, you'll see sunglass case and big brush stored for the trip. So then on to the big items that I bring. So I love this Tumi backpack. It is phenomenal. So Tumi obviously has been around forever. It's a little bit expensive to get a Tumi bag, but they literally can last you for 10, 15 years. This is the Tumi Carson, and it is the perfect size, whether it's just for me or carrying around all the kids' junk. So in it you have these side pockets, and they're both lined. So I like to use one for things like an extra sunscreen. I have some face makeup in here. Not wearing any of that today, kind of going with the whole just got home grungy vibe. This other pocket is phenomenal because it actually can hold a water bottle. And oh, I didn't even know there was still one from the plane on here. But I've actually done pretty large reusable bottles, in here, and they worked very well. And it is insulated, which I love, so if it spills, it's fine. And that was very important to me because on the other side, if I have the kids, instead of makeup, I can bring a second water bottle because they always have a water bottle on them. And that way Mike and I each have backpacks that can hold 2 water bottles. We don't end up holding them in our hands because it's important to be hands-free as you're traveling around and trying to figure things out. So then in this front pocket over here, I like to keep medicines that we need and like extra sunscreens. For fairly light skin, we go through a lot of sunscreen as a family. I keep hand sanitizer because you want to have that on hand right away, as well as more Clorox wipes because things like those tray tables are so gross. Then in this pocket up here, I just keep little extras like some nail polish. I keep little wipes for, again, trays and things, so you're noticing a theme. A little bit of a germaphobe here. I like to bring extra hair ties, just stuff that I might find that I need, but don't want to go digging through the backpack. Now this main compartment is actually really roomy. So in here, I keep an extra sweater, because if I'm on the plane and I want to sleep, I might not want to wear like a denim jacket, but something really soft and cozy. And also this will be my formal sweater when I'm going out somewhere and I'm wearing a dress and I might not want to wear a denim jacket. I always travel with my Bose headphones. They take up a lot of room, but I think they're very worth it. They're noise canceling, and although we are business class and they gave you headphones, I always think these are the best. I get a little bit afraid of flying. You may have noticed yesterday that we were on a very small plane, and that particularly kind of freaks me out. So being able to turn on the noise canceling aspect and not hear every time there's a funny noise on the plane is huge for me. But also when I'm doing video editing, it's really great to be able to pinpoint each sound. And when you're using AirPods, it's a little bit difficult because there's going to be a delay. So this is perfect for that, and I highly recommend these. I've had them for like 5 years, and I still use them constantly. I'll keep my first of 2 kind of toiletry bags. This one's going to have the things that I'd be really upset if for some reason I got separated from, like if somebody was to check this bag. So I keep things like, like a little Flonase or Afrin, which is important when you're flying. I keep a little container of some important medicines, so I do not actually take pills every day like this, but in here you can keep things like Motrin, stomach medication, etc., so that if something goes wrong on the road, you immediately have access to this, especially as you're doing things like going to a random market and trying random street foods. You don't know how that's going to go, or if you get a headache on a plane, it's great to have it right there. I also keep a ridiculous amount of Band-Aids in here, especially because I'm used to traveling with kids. You never know what's going to happen, as well as perfume and some Benadryl cream for when those bug bites arise. And then I just keep cough drops. Actually, I was really glad I had these on this trip. At one point, my throat was bothering me, and when I went to a French pharmacy, they gave me something with like 10 different actual medications in them. And I didn't really want to take a bunch of mysterious medications. I wanted plain cough drops, so realizing I had packed these was wonderful. And then I keep a pair of compression socks in here as well. There's always a blood clot risk on a very long flight. So if I know that I'm going to sleep on the plane or I don't think I'm going to be able to get up very much, I'll throw these on just to avoid that risk. They're also great at preventing varicose veins. And then I'll also keep a pair of underwear, which I don't think you need to see, and some Tylenol, just because you always are better off having medications that you know your family uses frequently on you. Now in the back here, in addition to this bag strap, which saves me from having to carry this on my back all day, I almost never do when I'm flying, you have a padded laptop sleeve, and it's quite roomy. I could actually fit both of my computers in here. For this trip, I only brought my MacBook Air. I know it has kind of a black skin on it, so it looks a little funny, but I can bring my work laptop in here as well. I keep some documents like all the menus that we get on planes so we can share them with you all, as well as my mini iPad, which I just like to have convenient for reading, kind of works as my Kindle, movies, etc. And I also keep some face masks in here so they're really super easy to grab, as well as my cords. And my passport and everything is kept in a secret compartment in the main area, which is very convenient. So then I'm going to pull this off, and we'll get into everything I packed in the main luggage bag. So this is the Way Carry-On Plus. I know these bags are super popular, so I'm sure you've heard of them. It's what we have as our 25-inch bags and our 29-inch bags. They're popular for good reason. They are phenomenal. But this is the only one in which Mike and I don't have a matching set. I think the Way bag is absolutely worth it, and that the Carry-On Plus is the best bag out there. But Mike actually bought a bag that was about 1/3 the price on Amazon for this trip, and so far, I have to be honest, it's proved to be just as reliable as this bag. So I think as time goes on, we'll see how the two compare and maybe do a video of like cheap bag versus luxury bag and see how each holds up. So now let's go through the contents. So on the top, you have a really convenient lock, which I love because obviously if your bag gets separated from you, you want to know that you can lock it. People always like to give people scary advice on trips. Somebody randomly told us when we were in Amsterdam that we should be aware of people putting random drugs in our bag and trying to sneak them into planes and train stations. So I know they can't do that because my bag locks. And on the back here, it also has something super cool. Portable charger. So this charger can either remain in your bag and charge your phone, or you can just pop it out like I did and have a charger whenever you need one on the plane, which is also good because some planes and countries don't allow these kind of chargers to go on the plane, so you can pop it out if you need to. And then it just pops right back in, and voila. All right, so now we can open the bag. You will be shocked at how much stuff this bag holds. So what's great about the Suitcase is it has two main compartments. The first side is the compression side, and that has been everything for me. So in here, you open these straps, you can fit so much clothes. I was able to bring 10 dresses, and then I purchased another one, so I came back with 11, a pair of shorts, a pair of jeans, 3 shirts, a pair of yoga pants, and I also kept my straightener in this compartment on the way there. And I also was able to bring plenty of bras, underwear, and I brought a beach cover-up and a bathing suit. And I know that sounds absolutely crazy for one half of a carry-on, but let me show you why. So once you put your stuff in, you can close these 2 areas and then pull this strap to compress, and it does such a good job that I'll have it up to like here sometimes, and it'll just compress down so small. Without that, I think I would be able to pack half as much, so it's been a game changer for me. Then on this other side, I start off keeping only firm items like shoes, toiletry bags, etc. And then as I wear clothes, I put them in here to be kind of a dirty area so I can separate out what's dirty and what's clean. So I always have my straightener, which usually is on this side, but we put it over here for the way home. And this is the one, if you remember on the trip, my regular straightener broke, so now I have a European straightener, which will be great because we go to Europe enough, and I highly encourage people to do that. If you're going to be going to a country repeatedly or an area of the world, just get something with the same voltage, like a steamer or a hair straightener, which tends to be very finicky and harder to get to work with converters. So then in my main toiletry bag, I try to keep it to this size. I bring as many medications as I think that country won't sell. Obviously I bring things like deodorant, razors, the smallest toothpaste I could find, and then something kind of funny is I have sensitive skin, so I like to use my own unscented Dove soap, and I know there are a lot of people out there like me. I actually will get a bar of soap and cut it with a knife into different little compartments. This is what's left right now. That way I can take a sliver for each place I'm staying and use it up and then throw it away, rather than having to carry like 5 bars on me if I'm going to 5 destinations. And then I don't really bring very much shampoo and conditioner. That way I can kind of steal the wonderful stuff that hotels offer, unless I'm going to like an Airbnb or something where it might not be there. But they sell shampoo and conditioner everywhere. So like in this case, our last hotel used Aesop, which is an amazing brand, and I was able to actually take the shampoo and conditioner with me because it was so great. And then also in here, I can bring home little things I buy on the way. So like at the spa, I was able to find this great Claudie under eye cream, and I was able to buy it and bring it home. You're never going to have a hard time finding toiletries at your destinations, so why not travel kind of light and bring back cool products from everywhere you go? Because one of the things about traveling with this size bag is it can be a little tricky to bring back a ton of souvenirs, but we have a solution for that too. So then also I always travel with Ziplocs. I feel like they're very helpful. You never know what's going to come up. If the kids are with us, this can be the perfect place to put a horrific smelly diaper. If they're not with us, it can be a good place to buy something that you find out has a chance of leaking in your bag. So we always bring a few of these. I always bring a second pair of shoes. I actually didn't bring sneakers on this trip, but I thought it was helpful. And when I'm traveling to a country where they might not have the same prescriptions as we do, I try and somewhere on me have the entire prescription bottle for a medication I take. That way, if there's ever any questions about it, I can prove that I have a valid prescription. It's something that, doesn't get encountered too often, but think of where you're going. Like if you're going to the Middle East, you may have issues in certain countries with things like birth control. Like it just depends on people who take pain medication, different products. There are different laws in every country, so I would always check before you travel to make sure you're not causing any issues, but most of the time you're fine. I always bring these bug spray wipes. I find that bug spray is very big and difficult, and also it's one of those things that if it leaks, it just smells so bad. So these wipes are great because one pad can cover just about a whole family. So I'll throw them in here, and if I end up needing them, I have them for the trip. I also have been traveling with a COVID test since COVID started. It's becoming less necessary, but if I ever found out that there was a chance I had COVID or that we were sick, I'd want to know that this was available to me. And sometimes if you're somewhere off the beaten path, it could be a little tricky to get one, or maybe you just want a head start on knowing your status before you go take the PCR as well. Then also in this bag, I always bring this ugly container full of hairnets. I find that if your shoes get dirty or gross and you don't want them packed in with your clothes, you can put this over the bottom of your shoe like this, and now your clothes isn't getting everything you walked on all over it, so it can be quite helpful. And I like to bring a backup bag strap. So in this case, I just bought this new one. I haven't even used it yet. But when you're bringing a purse and it has a thin strap, that's great for when you're going to most places, but over time it can get uncomfortable. You can throw on a thick strap, and then suddenly you're a lot more comfortable for all your travels. And then this is the most exciting product that I have started bringing with me. Mike and I like to bring a foldable bag. So we each carry one of these on us, and it serves two purposes. So on one hand, if it turns out that they make you check your bag, you weren't expecting it and suddenly the bag's full, or your bag is considered too big, you can open this up and put as much clothes as humanly possible in here. Even Spirit Airlines considers this a personal item size carry-on, so you will definitely be allowed on with this bag, which is amazing. But the other advantage is you can open this up and pack it full of either dirty clothes or souvenirs, and then when you're coming home, you could choose to check this bag, or some airlines will let you bring this on as your personal item with this as well, which I said even Spirit Airlines does, so I can't imagine where you'd end up with an issue. And you have a whole nother bag available to you. So I actually have Mike's over here, so let me go grab it and show you what that looked like. So on this most recent trip, we actually didn't run into any issues, so we only used Mike's bag. So you can see it here. It is very full, and it holds so much that I think this actually is all of our dirty clothes that we had from Mike's luggage, as well as the 4 packs of chocolate that we brought home from Belgium, because you're not going to go to Belgium and not bring home chocolate. And we also brought home souvenirs for the kids that were fairly large, and this allowed us to do so. It actually has the ability to go over the back of a trolley. So like in my case, I put this on the back and then just wear my backpack. It actually also has a long duffel strap that you can use to carry it more comfortably, which I love. But it doesn't even matter what brand this bag is, because the truth is, they sell like 3,000 of these on Amazon, and I'd say that 90% of them are under $20. So it's so easy to find a product like this. Just make sure it has the ability to go over the trolley part, because you want to be able to have that convenience, that it folds small, and that it's regulation size. You want something that would fit in even Spirit Airlines, because they don't charge you for this size bag. And again, it folds this little and gives you so much flexibility. So we knew that there was no way we were going to Europe without our clothes on us, knowing what was happening with baggage at this time. So we were fully prepared to put almost everything we had in these bags if we needed to. So it's just that reassurance that you know no matter what, you're not going to end up at your destination without your clothes. So this worked really well for me. It looks like a lot of stuff, but it actually packed up real small, which was great yesterday when we were sprinting through the airport in Toronto trying to catch our connection.